Peace, family. This is Inaya. So, today I want to talk about healing being like a birthing process. What do I mean when I say that healing is going to be like a birthing process? Multiple things. So, when you talk about, let's say, a human being born, for example, or anything coming into existence, everything starts off as a concept. If you want to picture something, think of like a a particle, right? But you can't necessarily like pick up this particle or whatever. There's no mass or volume. It's literally just like a particle that has the potential to become anything, right? And it's kind of just floating around. So you can even compare this particle to being like a thought. You can't pick up a thought, but you sense its presence there, and thoughts can become many things depending on how you direct them. So everything starts off as this existing particle, right? And with cultivation, it begins to the growth process. So after a while of growing, it starts off growing, but no one really becomes aware that this is growing until what, maybe like a few weeks in. Now I'm just getting technical as far as like humans are born, but there's a period of time where there is no awareness that growth is taking place. Once growth becomes apparent, or once that growth has reached consciousness of somebody, the environment changes, depending on the mindset of the conscious individual and the role that they play in this particle's growth. So what happens is that, let's say, this conscious person, think I'm just going to use the example of like a human baby. So let's just say that this consciousness of the parent, obviously, they become aware of the growth, and they begin to cultivate an environment so that the growth of this baby becomes very much successful. So that means being more aware of diet, being more aware of stress, and making sure you're not stressed out as much, making sure that you are seriously facilitating all of the conditions that are necessary in order to birth a successful child. And moving forward, fast forward, when it's time for the baby to be born, the baby doesn't just like pop out like, hey, I'm here, what's going on? Hey, no. There's this whole process of labor, right? You've cultivated for this long period of months, and now is the moment of truth where this baby is about to be born. And that birthing process looks like contractions, looks like opening and contracting and opening and contracting, so that this baby can push its way through. Sorry if that's a little bit graphic, but it's life, it's nature, it is what it is, right? And the point that I want to really emphasize is that it's not so simple and straightforward in its release. There is a little bit of resistance as the baby is coming out, and we can even talk about once the baby is born and growing up and becoming aware of itself and aware of the role that it plays in its surrounding environment. There's going to be a little bit of resistance as the world view is constantly shifting, as this new person is becoming exposed to things that it wasn't exposed to before, and it's shifting its reality and adjusting. Some things is going to be easy to adjust to, and other things is going to be difficult. Oh, I see all these people walking around and talking like this super advanced language. This is like, I don't know, stream of consciousness of the baby, right? I see all these people walking and running and doing that stuff. It doesn't just get up like Bet and just gets up and runs and like presents a dissertation. Like, it doesn't happen like that. There's a series of steps that you just cannot skip You cannot skip. And it is going to be challenging because, again, it's something that you never come across before. So all of this to give you another perspective on how to approach your journey to becoming your best self. Again, and I've said this before, being patient with yourself and celebrating those baby steps, right? Full circle. But celebrating those baby steps and really thinking of yourself as a student more than anything. There is no wrong decision. There is no wrong. What is right? What is wrong? It's relative. If I ask you what's right, what's wrong, it's most likely, maybe, possibly going to be different than this person over here. If I ask you what's right, what's wrong. So let's avoid thinking of our decisions in that way and remove that pressure from the decisions that we make as we are continuing to navigate through this life and continue to cultivate a healthy version of ourselves and a healthy perspective, a healthy relationship with ourselves and with others, something to constantly be aware of. But I wanted to share that tidbit in case, you know, you find yourself and it's bound to happen at some point if you're truly doing the work, but to kind of feel a sense of defeat, like maybe I'm just not cut out for this. And that's not true. Let's say you set a goal and you it's a personal goal about setting boundaries. Let's say you want to set more boundaries. You don't like the way that people come and they take advantage of your kindness. That's a very real thing. You have to set healthy boundaries. Not to say that you have to become this angry person that just says no all the time and is only thinking about themselves and just don't even, like, if it ain't about the money talk. I mean, like, yes or no, right? So it's all about finding what is harmonious with you. How much are you truly willing to offer before you start to feel drained, right? But ultimately, it's about staying grounded and remembering that there are levels and you can't skip levels. It would be nice, and maybe sometimes kind of life gives us this impression that we have skipped a few levels, and you know what? Everybody's journey is different. So, you know, you never know when exactly your next new experience that's going to alter the whole way that you live life from now on. You never know when those moments are going to happen. They kind of just happen, right? So the important thing is to not lose heart and feel as though it's a personal thing. You know, you didn't, let's say, going back to your goal of setting boundaries, you said that you were no longer going to do a certain project without compensation of at least ... Let's say it's something like that. You want to get paid the value that you offer. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's absolutely wonderful because that's absolutely how it should be. You know, and let's say there's this one person that comes along and I don't know, maybe they hit you with the charm, or maybe they come with a lot of reputation behind them and they come and they want to offer you less than that. Like, you already said in your head, I'm going to do this. And this person comes and you find yourself like, dang, conflicted. I definitely said that I was going to do this, and let's just say, hypothetically speaking, you take it and you give in. You may start bashing yourself like, oh my gosh, we just said that we was going to do better and here we are, now we're in a situation type thing, you know, and you start going into that place. But I would encourage you to not stay in that place for so long. I would encourage you to take note of what has just happened. Like I said before, and you can see my last video on what does the process of healing look like, or what does self-work look like. But it looks like going back through that moment, because again, you find yourself in a situation where you are not pleased. You do not feel at ease at the end of the experience. So you have to go back and reflect, okay, where did it go wrong? Like, what was it about this person that made me give in to something that I said that I wouldn't give into. And right there, you can see what your point of weakness is. Okay? If it was a charming personality, you know that you have to do some work on distinguishing or practicing impulse control. You know, not being so caught up in the moment that you're making impulsive decisions that ultimately are not in alignment with what you said that you wanted. So it's all connected. It's all connected, and life and nature is teacher. So we're all here to learn, and we're all here to grow together, myself included. We are all having our separate journeys, but there's still that same factor of coming across a challenge and looking for ways to overcome those challenges. That's what everybody's life has. That's one common component that everybody shares. And there are multiple components that everybody shares, but that's one of them. That's the main thing. That's what connects us all. You know, even though we are unique in our expression, we are all still here, one solid purpose. Okay? So that is my thought. That was my thought. So let me know, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about the birthing process of yourself, right? Like, what are some examples that you have of when you've had to, or when you've maybe unintentionally gone back on a goal that you set, or you find yourself in a situation where you're not feeling as though or maybe you feel like you took a step back. You know, let's talk about it. Let's make this a dialogue. So go ahead and hit me with those comments below, and I look forward to talking to you guys again soon. Peace.